Viewer discretion is advised. Shaking those bones?
Actually, there is a little bit of psych, so
Okay.
I can't shake the bones
All right,
time.
put them back. Put them back.
But I do have just a huge list of fun fall facts for us.
Love.
So, apparently, we only call it fall in America. The season was originally just called harvest and autumn.
I don't like calling a season harvest. That's odd to me. I don't like that.
I did copy and paste this from one of my sources, which are cited, and the punctuation's not great. So what I meant to say was the season was originally just called harvest, comma, and autumn came around much later in the 1300s. When English poets started using the phrase the fall of leaves, it became very fashionable to call the season fall.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like poetry and literature was sort of like the pop culture of the time. So people started calling it fall around then. Also, beginning in the 1600s, more people were moving from farms to urban areas, so not as many people were literally harvesting.
Mm-hmm.
By the mid 1800s, after the split of the colonies from England led to a language change.
Can you
and
imagine,
like spelling change, like color.
Can you imagine growing up in a time when hashtag trends were just, we're not calling it harvest anymore, we're calling it autumn.
Yeah.
And now hashtag trends are like eating a Tide Pod.
And those trends took 100 years to circulate and like take root.
Yeah, we don't got time for that anymore.
Yeah. Because, like, was there even a printing
too busy
press
planking.
then? I don't know.
I can't.
So England then reverted back to autumn and the American upstarts retained fall.
Mm-hmm.
Next fact, pumpkin pie spice doesn't taste anything like actual pumpkin. There isn't any real pumpkin flavor in it because actual pumpkin tastes like shit.
So you mean like the spice used in pumpkin pie or like pumpkin spice lattes?
So all of it. Pumpkin spice is really just the shit they added to pies. So it's like cinnamon, nutmeg.
Okay, so it's the spices that you would use in a pumpkin dish. It's not any pumpkin because pumpkin's gross.
Correct.
Got it. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That totally tracks. Yeah.
Have you
that
tasted
really does.
pumpkin?
I have.
It's not great.
It's not that good.
There is this isn't a Trader Joe's plug, but they do have pretty good pumpkin soup. But again, it's probably just the spices that are in it. It's probably not even. Yeah.
It's the seasoning. It's not the pumpkin itself.
When I carve a pumpkin, I do like to roast the seeds and then like salt and cinnamon drizzle them. That's
and you
really
eat
good.
it?
Yeah. Like roasted pumpkin seeds are a really yummy snack.
I love pumpkin seeds. Yeah. Oh, that's the best part. I don't actually like pulling the thing out.
No,
I don't like the guts.
Oh, that's the only good part.
No, it's
How
not.
about I'll pull your guts, you eat the seeds.
Okay.
Because we have very different.
Well, yeah,
Is
you
she
roast
licking
the
her
seeds
asshole
first,
again?
She needs to get clean. She's hungry.
It's bath time before dinner.
She's doing it.
She's licking her leg. That's just her leg.
This is like an old Peep show from when the time from. Ooh, it's the lady of the fall. Nobody can see that, but I'm swiveling over, revealing her.
Steven's trying to give her some modesty time, some privacy.
We will get to the Lady of the Fall. Actually, I'll get to it right now. Let me
Legends of the Fall?
Down. Okay, so from memory, the Greek origins of like autumn and fall, it was Persephone who was the daughter of the goddess of the harvest, and like the devil snatched her, and her mother was like, "Fuck you! I'm gonna make all the crops die until you give my daughter back."
Okay.
So that was like the origins of like the seasons of fall according to Greek mythology.
Got it.
It just shows how bored everyone was. They were just like, why is this stuff happening? They look up in the sky and they're like, oh, this is just a reality show drama happening up in the stars, basically.
It's Real Housewives Girls Trip, but in the sky.
I will say this, though, and I think I've mentioned this before in episodes, not that I expect Steven to know this, but when Amanda and Scott and I went to go see the solar eclipse, I think all three of us were fucking overcome with like, oh my God, nature is fucking crazy. Even though we knew like logically what was going on, to think about people like prehistorically or just
science
technologically.
Yeah.
To see this, what's happening, everything that's happening on the planet, like with all the light and the dark and the birds and the cold wind and the like, I'd fucking lose my mind.
Yeah, we were like, now I get why people like worshipped
invented
gods.
Religion.
Yeah, and invented religion, because how the fuck else could you explain an experience like this without science?
I'm horny for nature all the time. I got it. I was in Atlanta. I saw whale sharks for the first time. I started crying. It was great.
Yes. Whale sharks so the fucking spotted cool. ones?
Yeah, because they're the only places in captivity are Atlanta and Osaka, Japan. Are whale sharks. So it was like a total like lifetime achievement unlocked.
Oh my God.
Award.
Yeah, I'm all about it. I'm all like seeing an eclipse.
Oh,
beautiful.
Nature is all about it. It's too much.
She's a bit much. She's over the top.
Speaking of nature, more babies are conceived in the fall and winter than the spring and summer.
Yeah, it's too hot to fuck once spring comes.
Not even. This might be because testosterone levels in both men and women ramps up in the fall, therefore making us hornier.
No, it's just too hot.
I thought it was all the fireplaces with the shag rug on the front.
That too.
Well, actually, like
the mood.
Some of their theories are that this is like developed in prehistoric times where we could like spend the winter with somebody else to keep us warm. So you're not wrong.
That's all we're good for.
Yep.
Just a body to keep warm.
I need a warm man. To survive the winter in my cave.
Women are doing all the fucking work.
Get out.
Fair.
The least you could do is provide warmth.
Yeah.
Right?
There are more than 7,500 varieties of apples, with about 2,500 types grown in the U.S. alone.
That's too many apples. Why do we need that many varieties of apple?
I don't even like apples.
They're not that great.
I'm glad you said that, because apples they're fine.
They're fucking overrated.
Yeah, they've had the stage for too long. I'm trying to think what fruit should be in there.
You know what's way better than an apple? A pear. Pears are so fucking good,
or
and they're
peach.
Easier to eat. Yes, peaches are delicious. Pears also, the skin doesn't like stay in your mouth for 100 years, unchewable like an apple skin does.
I can't even eat green apples.
I don't like the mouthfeel of a pear. It's too mushy. It's like a bad apple.
No, it's delicious.
It's fermented. It's alcoholic at that point.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, why do you put it like that?
Yeah.
That's how they theorize that, like how our ancestors first started getting drunk was that there'd be like different like mangoes or things like left in the sun, and they started fermenting and getting alcoholic. Or alcoholic. They started, fermenting alcohol, and then our chimp ancestors were like, "Whoa, this is crazy!
I love it. Party."
Yeah, you're like eating those rotten fruit. You get wasted.
Well, like animals get drunk off of different fruits, like old apples and shit.
I love the drunk squirrel videos when squirrels get into like fermented pears and shit. I love it.
Fermented crab apples.
Oh, so good.
So the full moon in the fall that occurs during the equinox is much brighter.
The Chevy equinox.
It's almost an orange, and it sometimes rises much earlier than a typical full moon. So like we're more likely to like recall a harvest moon than whatever the fuck the spring equinox moon is. Whatever, blah.
Boo, spring equinox. Boo.
So this occurs in September or October and was very helpful for farmers who used that bright moonlight to help harvest their crops, like after the sun went down, which is kind of why it's called a harvest moon. Bobbing for apples was actually a British courting ritual.
Ugh, and torture method.
Girl, watch this. It's like, what the hell?
Look what I can do.
I mean, look, if you can't actually holding your breath with an apple in your mouth, not to be crass, but that actually might be a good indicator
Well,
you know what I mean?
exactly,
Of
especially
skill.
because it was the girls bobbing and not the boys.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I was thinking it was the men who was doing. I mean, either way, I guess you're
well,
good to
yeah,
go.
either way, you want to fit it all in your mouth.
It's like, oh yeah, she sucks. She sucks and fucks.
She real sucks. So this old-fashioned Halloween party game originally started as a British courting ritual. Men
I love
were
like in that episode of The Office where they're doing the office Halloween party and Aaron Hannon eats an entire apple under the water and it's like I did it. I ate 3 apples. They're like, you've been down there for a long time. It's like, that's not how you play the game.
Oh my
That's
God.
not how that works.
I did it. I ate 3 apples.
I would be
Ma'am.
so terrified. I would like leave that Halloween party.
Oh,
Can you imagine eating an apple underwater?
No.
How fucking gross and amazing.
So gross.
So the men were assigned an apple, and the women would try to bob for that particular apple that she thought that, like, belonging to the guy she thought was hot.
That's fucking
and if she
stupid.
was
I hate it.
successful, it was taken as an omen that they were meant to be together. So,
if she was successful, she legally belonged to him from that point forth.
kind of, yeah.
Henceforth.
I feel like the whole rest of the commune would be like, oh, yes, you are meant to be together. Go, you're married now. Bye.
Yeah. It was that easy.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you got to get a marriage license. You have to get a registered officiant. You got to
Blah,
get
blah,
so
blah.
many hoops before you
To
can
like
just grab
the-
an apple out of a barrel and boom, you married.
To like the other person, treat them like a human being. Oh,
Yeah, it's
God.
so annoying.
I'll
Ugh.
marry you. I'll marry you. I'll marry you.
The worst thing that ever happened to society was like, in Western society is like women
Men.
not being property anymore. Really a bummer. We should go back.
I mean, it's the family structure. It's
Yep.
the nuclear unit.
Ugh. Sarcasm.
So fall is basically synonymous with pumpkins. But have you ever wondered why we're so obsessed with these gourds, these pumpkins?
These
'Cause they're
gorgeous
thick? I don't-
gourds. Yeah, because they have a big booty and a tiny waist.
They're kind of expensive. We decorate them, we carve them, we kind of eat them, but mostly just decorate with them.
Well,
and apparently, it has nothing to do with the taste of the pumpkin itself, which we kind of went through with the pumpkin spice thing because they don't
Right.
taste that great.
Mm-mm.
Studies have shown that what we really love about pumpkins is the sense of nostalgia that they make us feel.
Totally.
Pumpkins represent farm life and tradition, which is a romantic idea for many Americans that we're very attached to. So basically, we just like the idea of pumpkins. I would argue
That's
the
not
pop
the
of color.
Yeah, that's not the nostalgia it triggers for me. For me, it triggers the nostalgia of like being a kid around Halloween, not
Yes.
farm life.
Well, I think it could all fall under the same category.
Yeah,
I mean,
the simpler
generationally.
times or whatever. I think that's
Yeah.
why the turnips didn't last, because like every few years, BuzzFeed or whoever will bust out the like turnip jack-o'-lanterns, and you're just
Yep.
like, "Ugh," like they're
And
almost
they're
horrifying.
horrifying.
Amazing though. I'm like, I want to carve a turnip this year. To be
Yep.
honest,
We've talked a lot about the turnip
Ugh.
jack-o'-lanterns, and we've never done it. We've always wanted to do it.
Let's
we've
do
never
it.
done it. Let's do it.
Can we buy a turnip at the grocery store?
Absolutely.
This might be the year. I think you can also do it with like beets and radishes and potatoes and shit too.
Buy all the garnishes.
It's all the same.
We'll do a Zoom craft night.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Only the creepiest faces win.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And we'll get a room full of children to be the judge, and the one that the children is the most scared of wins.
The top trophy goes to the one who gives the child the worst
Most
nightmares.
It's a Monsters Inc. situation. We're gonna
I
really
love it. Collect their screams.
This
This is happening. This is fucking happening.
So here for collect their
There's-
screams. You fucking weirdo. Okay.
Watch Monsters Inc. I didn't come up with that concept.
Okay. Research has shown that people born in the fall, so like September through, I think
Me.
they lasted it through December, but it's at least September through
Are
November.
the most amazing?
Listen,
You're really vamping it up on that.
I don't want your ego to get too full because I'm about to give you a bunch of compliments in a row.
I don't want your
Wait,
laugh.
when's your birthday
Bring it
again,
up.
Amanda?
Tomorrow, September 30th.
Gosh. Well, happy early birthday.
When's your
Yeah.
birthday, Steven?
I'm a spring baby, April 17th.
Boo.
Hey, but my
Wow.
birthday was on Easter this year, so that's like...
So you had to share
I don't
it
know why
with
I'm
some
cool.
creepy
Me and Jesus.
bunny and zombie Jesus.
Yeah, zombie Jesus and the bunny and I. My birthday is going to be on Easter every 10 years plus one from now on.
Ooh,
basically.
Creepy.
Nice.
It's like a weird prime
He is
number
risen.
thing. Yeah. Zombie Jesus.
Well, lucky
Love
you.
Anyway, back to
Back to me.
fall birthdays.
Not to inflate Amanda's ego, but good luck. Okay, here we go. Research has shown that people born in the fall are more likely to live to 100 years old.
Oh my
Whoa.
God.
Not that
Well,
you want that.
I super don't want that, but okay.
And no, it's not just a coincidence. Studies have shown that the month you're born in can influence the environment you develop in, both inside and outside the womb. That environment can do everything from affecting your behavior to your overall health. The prevailing theory is that this is because of seasonal infections having a lasting impact on health.
Hot.
So
So while my mom was pregnant, she avoided like flu season and stuff.
well, no, it's because after you were born outside of the womb, you're less likely to have these. It made sense when I wrote it.
Yeah, this tracks. I'll take the compliment. I'm gonna live to be 100. Next.
I think the primary factor was that like different infections develop more during the hotter months,
Oh,
and
yeah,
they kind of taper off as winter comes around. So like
Got it.
when you're old enough to be really like outside in the world unprotected, it's gonna be like winter, spring rather than summer, fall.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Sure.
Also, children who are born in the fall tend to do better in school.
Well, that isn't true for me.
Doesn't track for this
That was
audience,
the longest
but that's
pause
okay.
ever.
Well, that
This
isn't
also
true.
this next one also doesn't track with present company. Children born in the fall also tend to are more likely to become athletes.
Okay.
And they think this is because the mother, when pregnant, likely had a lot more exposure to the sun, which helped her body produce more vitamin D, which helped her give the kids stronger bones. And that
Okay.
also made it more likely for kids born in the fall to be taller.
I'm
Which
not
also
tall.
doesn't fall under your umbrella.
No, my sister was also born in the fall. She was born in November, and she's pretty tall.
And she's an athlete.
Yeah.
She played hockey.
She did play hockey for a long time, and she did like run a marathon within the last 5 years because she's an insane person.
What a psychopath.
I know. I don't fucking get why. Or it might have been a half marathon. It's probably a half marathon. I don't know.
Either way.
She's going to be texting me right now, yelling at me for misrepresenting her incredible achievements to an international audience. But
I'm
love
sorry.
you. Nothing you can do about it. Bye.
I ran a 5K 10 years ago and I'm still talking about
Never
it.
again.
Never again.
Never.
Are you kidding me? It was
No.
awful.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
Lesson learned.
Yep. At what cost?
So okay, all of this is great, but also children born in the fall are about 30% more likely to develop asthma.
Okay, well, didn't get that. Did get diabetes, though,
Mm-hmm.
which is the asthma of the pancreas.
Yes.
I've heard.
Pancreatic asthma.
Oh, interesting.
I made that up.
Yeah. I mean, my sister was born. She was September 20th. I guess that still counts as summer, though, right?
What? No, September 20th?
September through November, I think.
That's fall,
solidly
baby.
fall.
I guess back to school. Yeah,
Yep,
she's right at the
that's
cutoff.
fall.
She has asthma, so
Well, meteorologically,
Libras are the best.
no. Meteorologically, scientifically, fall starts on September 1st.
oh,
But what about astrologically?
Well, like weather-wise, which I guess would be meteorology, but the first official day of fall is like September 23rd, 24th-ish, somewhere in there. But yeah. And also, climate change is really fucking us up. So.
Yeah, it was like 100. It's 100 degrees right now in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Any statement I'm making can't last more than
60 days.
60 days, because
we're
going downhill fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you?
I mean, all this fall stuff makes sense. I mean, I was the spring baby, but my mom, my sister, and my dad are all children of the fall. Virgo, Libra, Scorpio. That's sister, dad, mom.
Ooh, yeah, you have a very harvest-heavy family.
Yeah, and then me out here being like, oh, no, I'm hanging out with Jesus. You know, like.
My birthday's on Easter. I don't have asthma.
Yeah,
Suck
exactly.
it, nerds.
I don't need glasses, but the rest, well, I probably do need glasses now. But the rest of them have had glasses. My sister had glasses like her whole life, so.
You're bragging to the wrong crowd, Stephen.
Yeah.
No, it's getting, I printed out my notes today. It's getting bad.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sir,
it's going to get bad.
Your glasses.
So, do you know why leaves in the fall turn yellow and orange?
Probably something to do with fucking photosynthesis or some shit.
Yeah.
I'm dying up here.
Kinda.
I'm dying up here.
During the spring and summer, chlorophyll in the leaves absorb the sunshine, water, and carbon dioxide from the air and make it into carbohydrates like sugars and starch to feed the tree.
Mm-hmm.
During this time, the leaves also contain carotenes and xanthophyll, which are the yellow and the orange pigments. But they're kind of overshadowed by the green of the chlorophyll. So these leaves have these colors in them year round, but the green just takes over. So we just see green leaves. But in the fall, because of changes in the length of daylight and changes in the temperature, the leaves stop their food-making process, which aka photosynthesis.
Mm-hmm.
The chlorophyll then breaks down, the green color disappears, and the yellow to orange colors become visible and give leaves part of their fall splendor.
Oh, that's fucking cool. Leaf peeping season, baby.
We'll get to the leaf peeping.
I've never seen that. I've never seen that happen before. Growing up on the West Coast, the
oh
leaves
my
changing
God,
and all that stuff.
right.
That's
Why
weird.
do you live there? That's weird.
Well, I sure hope you liked that clip. If you did like that clip, make sure you are subscribing to our YouTube channel, leaving us a nice review, and joining us on Patreon for even more video content, audio content, salacious content all around. Come join us. Treat yourself.